Hey there, saber fans. Levi here with Corband Sabers. Today we're looking at the Retribution Saber. We're going to do a quick build guide on how to set up the rings, and then afterwards we're going to take a look at how to do the installed. So out of the box, these are the pieces you need to collect. You have the top of the ring and then the two sides. For this demonstration, we're only going to do the half ring. It's the same for both sides. So yeah, grab yourself either 2 or 4 screws, and then the tools that come with the saber, all in a bag. Alright, first things first, we're going to separate this by the coupler. So here's the coupler right here in the middle. I'm going to go ahead, just twist this apart. Twist it apart again. If this coupler seems to get stuck or you're having some difficulty getting it off, the best thing to get it off, in my opinion, is a dish glove or a gardening glove, something similar to this one. That way you don't mark it up when you're getting it off. So here's the coupler. If it comes apart in 3 pieces, that's okay. Both these rings move for adjustment purposes, so no problem there. The next part you're going to have to find is on each half there is a ring right here that unscrews. This is another part that sometimes is on there pretty good, so that's when the glove would come in handy. Underneath that ring, it exposes 4 set screws. We're going to have to undo all 4 of those set screws on both sides. Using the smallest hex key that comes in the kit, I'm going to go ahead, loosen these. You don't need to completely remove the set screws, just loosen them up enough to get it off. Alright, once you get it in 2 pieces, go ahead, set those aside, do the other half. Alright, once you get to this point, you're going to grab your screws. Now I said 2 or 4 because you can use 2 screws and they'll do the job just fine. Although, if you want to be extra secure, you can go ahead and use 4. But in this demonstration, I'm going to just be using 2. So there's 2 covers. There's one here and one here. So if you go ahead and get the small flathead that comes with your kit, very carefully pry those up, held on by magnets. Go ahead and do both sides. Alright, and then this part's a little tricky, getting the screw through one of these holes. Take your time. Be patient with it. There we go. Alright, I want you to take your finger and hold the screw in just like so. Grab either one of these side pieces and go ahead and screw it on, just like so. Once you've tightened it on a decent amount, go ahead and hold it on. This fits right through the other cover. And then you can tighten it down like so. Just make sure it's nice and solid, no wiggle. And then repeat the same step for the other side. An important note here, the orientation of the emitters is important. So this one, if you do one on this side of the emitters, the other emitter you should have facing this direction. You can reference the box if you need to for the orientation. On the front of the box here, you can see the orientation of both emitters. Quick note, this trick here for going through and tightening it down through this hole here, that only works when you're doing one side. If you're doing both sides, you're going to have to work through the tube here. It takes a little bit more time. But that's what it takes. Alright, the next step is to put this piece back on this piece. Again, orientation matters, so easiest thing is to just either choose buttons up or buttons down. I'm going to do buttons up. Alright, now like I mentioned before, this emitter comes apart into three pieces. Or, sorry, this coupler comes apart into three pieces. Got the two rings, and then the main coupler here. So you want the rings to go on in this orientation. The reason why these rings move is so that you can properly clock the two different sides of the hilt. So I'm going to just try to roughly make them meet in the middle. Don't need to crank them down. I'm going to attach it to both sides. So you can see that it's not properly clocked, so I'm going to loosen it a little bit and back up one of these rings. Now you can see it is properly clocked. Now this piece is held on by magnets and goes in surprisingly easily. And there you go. That is the assembly for the Retribution. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.